Snow silences the world before it blinds it. When a true blizzard descends, your universe shrinks to the reach of your headlights, and even that small circle feels temporary. Most people think of cold as something sharp, something honest in its cruelty. But deep cold is subtle. It whispers instead of screams. It offers reasons to stop. It makes bargains. Every account in this video starts with someone who thought they knew winter and ends with them learning the storm had been paying attention all along. The first story surfaced years after it happened, buried in an insurance file between fuel receipts and meteorological data. A commercial driver abandoned the highway shortly after midnight, certain a back road would shave 40 minutes off his route. Snow had just started falling, light enough to dismiss. His radio worked fine. His phone held signal. The forest road seemed wide enough, familiar enough, safe enough. Within 10 minutes, the snow thickened. The trees pressed inward. Reflectors vanished one by one. The engine died without warning, quietly, like it had simply given up. He turned the key 3 times before stopping, remembering something about flooding. Outside, wind arrived all at once, a roaring curtain of white. He stepped out to check under the hood and instantly lost sight of the vehicle behind him. The slam of his door was swallowed whole, absorbed by snow that seemed hungry for sound. Back inside, he watched the heat drain away. Minutes bent, then broke. The radio crackled into static that almost resembled speech. He told himself rescue would come, because rescue always came, because roads meant something. That was when he noticed footprints forming beside the passenger door. Slow, deliberate impressions appearing from nothing, leading nowhere. They circled the car once, then stopped, as though whatever made them had chosen to wait. The storm leaned closer, patient and certain, understanding that warmth dies faster than hope when white silence finally teaches you that winter is never empty at all. The second story opens with laughter, the kind that fogs windows and makes danger feel distant. 3 college students were driving through the night to beat surge pricing, chasing sunrise across a mountain pass that locals had warned them to avoid. Snow was already falling when they began the climb, fat flakes drifting lazily through their headlights. They talked about playlists, about finals, about how beautiful the storm looked from inside something warm and moving. The road vanished beneath white, but the GPS held steady, a thin digital promise slicing through uncertainty. Halfway up, visibility collapsed. The world shrank to 10 feet, then 5. Wind struck the car from the side, forcing the driver to grip the wheel until his knuckles whitened. When they finally stopped, it wasn't by choice. The tires spun helplessly, shrieking against layers of ice. They were still laughing then, convinced this was temporary, the story they'd tell at parties. They sent texts. They took photos. Battery bars fell faster than expected. Hours passed without form. They ran the engine for warmth until fuel anxiety set in. Outside, the storm howled like something grieving, rising and falling fingers. At some point, one of them spotted headlights far down the slope, 2 dull yellow eyes flickering through the snow. Relief flooded in, sudden and heavy. They flashed their brights. The lights below didn't approach. They didn't move at all. When they killed the engine to conserve fuel, the silence felt wrong, thick and deliberate. That was when they heard knocking. Soft, polite. 3 taps on the back window, perfectly spaced. No tracks led to the car, only pristine, untouched snow. The knocking returned, closer now, against the driver's side glass. One of them reached for the handle before another caught his wrist, whispering reasons, logic, fear. The distant headlights blinked out. The knocking ceased. In the darkness, cold crept inward, settling into marrow, slowing the thought. Much later, rescuers would find the vehicle buried nearly to its roof, doors frozen solid. Inside, 3 sets of handprints marked the windows, all pressing outward, as if something had convinced them help was just beyond reach, waiting patiently in the white silence that never replied. The final story was never supposed to become public. It came from an archived emergency dispatch recording, released only after identities were scrubbed the day too soon. A woman driving home from a late shift lost control on an uncleared road as the blizzard intensified without warning. Her car drifted gently, almost peacefully, into a ditch. No crash, no injury, just the quiet shock of realizing the road had disappeared. She called for help immediately, calm and almost apologetic, describing her location as best she could. The dispatcher reassured her
stay calm.
a plow was already out.
Help is
She
coming.
wasn't far
Stay
from
on the
town.
line.
Snow tapped against the windows like scattered grain. She stayed on the line, breath clouding the glass, watching white accumulate against the doors. Every few minutes she remarked on how fast it was coming down, how strange it felt to see nothing beyond the windshield. As time stretched, her voice shifted. Not panic distracted. She mentioned movement beyond the snowbank, a shape bending where the road should have been. The dispatcher suggested wind, drifting snow, headlights refracting through ice. The woman agreed quickly, eager for the explanation. Silence followed, broken only by the hum of the connection and the storm bleeding. Then she said someone was knocking. The dispatcher asked where. She paused, listening. On the roof, she whispered, confused. Slow footsteps crossed overhead, heavy enough to crease metal. Snow slid down the windshield as if brushed aside. The dispatcher urged her to stay inside, to keep the doors locked, to remember no one could possibly be walking out there. I know, the woman replied softly. That's why I'm afraid. The knocking migrated to the trunk, then stopped completely. Minutes passed. Her breathing slowed. She said the storm sounded farther now, like it was retreating. The dispatcher kept talking, counting seconds, refusing to quiet. When rescue finally reached the coordinates, the call was still connected. The car lay buried entirely, indistinguishable from the drift. No footprints surrounded it. Inside, the phone rested on the seat, line open, recording nothing but wind, carrying a silence so complete it felt intentional. Blizzards leave evidence, but not explanations. Investigators document wind speeds, snowfall totals, timelines that appear clean on paper. What they cannot measure is how isolation warps perception, how white emptiness invites the mind to populate. Survivors often struggle most with what didn't happen. The rescue that nearly arrived, the shapes that might have been shadows, the sounds that could have been ice cracking under pressure. Winter teaches patience, restraint, and consequence, and it does so without feeling. In each of these accounts, the cold didn't hurry. It waited. It let phones work just long enough. It let engines run until hope felt reasonable. Then it closed the distance quietly, narrowing options, reducing the world to a single question asked again and again. Stay. The wrong answer usually feels urgent. The right one feels unbearable. Search and rescue veterans speak about the stillness after a storm passes, how the landscape looks smooth over, innocent, as if nothing fought their hours. Tracks disappear. Sound refuses to carry. Even memory grows unreliable. People swear they heard voices calling their names, saw figures standing just beyond visibility. Trauma accounts for some of it. Temperature explains some, but not all. There comes a moment in extreme cold when fear dissolves, replaced by calm. The body conserves. The mind simplifies. That calm is the most dangerous phase. It convinces you the storm has accepted you. It makes resting feel earned. Many victims are found exactly where they chose to stop, expressions peaceful, as if listening to something gentle. These stories endure because they resist tidy conclusions. They warn without prescribing. They require no monsters, only weather and time. When snow begins falling hard and the world grows small, remember that survival often means ignoring what feels comforting. Move only when you know your destination. Stay only when staying is deliberate. Above all, respect the white silence. It remembers everything.